Hey everyone, welcome back to Switch Top. Today we're looking at the top 25 best single-player games you can play on Nintendo Switch in 2025. These are games where you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy an amazing adventure on your own. Let's jump right in. Super Mario Galaxy and its sequel bring two of the best 3D platformers ever made to the Switch in one collection. The story has Bowser kidnapping Princess Peach and launching her castle into space, so Mario has to travel across different galaxies to rescue her. The gameplay revolves around exploring small planets with their own gravity, meaning you can run all the way around them and even walk upside down. You'll collect power stars by completing platforming challenges, solving puzzles, and defeating bosses across dozens of creative galaxies. Each galaxy has its own unique theme and mechanics. One minute you're surfing on a manta ray, the next you're rolling on a ball or using Bee and Boo power-ups to fly and phase through walls. The controls feel tight and responsive, and the game does a great job of introducing new ideas in almost every level so it never gets repetitive. Both games run smoothly on Switch in handheld and docked mode, and while the motion controls are optional, they do add some fun ways to collect star bits and perform special moves. Hollow Knight Silksong is the highly anticipated sequel that puts you in control of Hornet, a character from the first game who's now the main protagonist. The story begins with Hornet waking up in a strange kingdom called Farloom, captured and brought there for reasons she needs to uncover as she fights her way to the top of the kingdom. Unlike the original game's nail-based combat, Hornet fights with a needle and thread, giving her a faster and more acrobatic fighting style. The combat feels more aggressive than the first game. You can heal while moving by binding enemies with Silk, and you have different tools and tricks you unlock as you progress. The world is structured as a vertical climb rather than the sprawling horizontal exploration of Hollow Knight, with new areas opening up as you gain abilities like wall running and special Silk abilities. Boss fights are more dynamic and require you to learn attack patterns while managing your Silk meter for both offense and defense. Dave the Diver is a super chill game that mixes diving exploration with restaurant management in the most relaxing way possible. You play as Dave, a diver who gets roped into helping run a sushi restaurant by day and exploring a mysterious blue hole in the ocean by night. During the day, you dive down into the ocean to catch fish and discover sea creatures, managing your oxygen and harpoon ammunition while avoiding dangerous fish and exploring underwater caves. At night, you serve customers at the sushi restaurant, hiring staff, upgrading equipment, and creating dishes from the fish you caught earlier. The blue hole changes its layout every time you dive, so you're always discovering something new. Ancient ruins, strange sea creatures, and a deeper mystery about what's really going on in these waters. The gameplay loop is addictive because both parts feed into each other. Better diving equipment helps you catch rare fish, and a successful restaurant gives you money to upgrade your gear. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is a farming sim where you inherit a farm in a small town that's trying to revive its once popular weekly bazaar. The story focuses on bringing the community together by making the bazaar successful again while building relationships with the townspeople. You'll plant crops, raise animals, mine for materials, and fish. All the classic farming sim activities, but the unique twist is the weekly bazaar where you set up a stall to sell your goods directly to customers. The bazaar mechanic adds a fun rhythm to the gameplay because you need to plan what to grow and craft based on what people want to buy, and you can see customers' reactions in real time. As the bazaar grows more popular, new vendors join and the town becomes more lively. You can also befriend and eventually marry one of the eligible bachelors or bachelorettes by giving them gifts and participating in festivals. The game has a cozy art style and runs well on Switch, making it perfect for handheld play when you want something relaxing. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound brings the classic action series back with a 2D roguelite twist while keeping that signature brutal difficulty. You play as a ninja warrior fighting through hordes of demons and monsters in a dark fantasy version of feudal Japan. The combat is fast and demanding. You need to master dodging, parrying, and using different weapons and ninja tools to survive. Each run through the game generates different level layouts and enemy placements, and when you die, you start over but keep some permanent upgrades. The game uses a rage meter that builds up as you fight, letting you unleash powerful special moves when it's full. You'll unlock new weapons like katanas, kusarigama, and dual swords, each with their own movesets and combos to learn. The difficulty is tough but fair. Every death feels like a learning experience rather than cheap. Boss fights are intense one-on-one duels that test everything you've learned. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is a full remake of the Game Boy classic with a stunning toy-like art style. The story begins with Link washing up on the shores of Koholint Island after a storm destroys his ship. To escape the island, he needs to wake the windfish by collecting 8 musical instruments hidden in dungeons across the island. The gameplay follows the classic top-down Zelda formula. You explore the overworld, solve puzzles, fight enemies, and tackle dungeons that each introduce a new item or ability. The dungeons are brilliantly designed with puzzles that make you think about how to use your items creatively, from bombs and boomerangs to the hookshot and Rock's Feather for jumping. The game looks like a living diorama with its tilt-shift camera effect and adorable character designs, but don't let the cute appearance fool you. The puzzles are clever and some bosses can be challenging. One unique feature is the Chamber Dungeon mode, where you can create your own dungeons using rooms you've cleared, adding replay value. Luigi's Mansion 3 has our green plumber hero trapped in a haunted hotel where he needs to rescue Mario, Peach, and the Toads from King Boo's trap. Each floor of the hotel has a completely different theme with its own unique ghosts to capture and puzzles to solve. You'll explore everything from a medieval castle floor to a movie studio and a pirate ship. The core gameplay uses the Poltergust G00 vacuum to suck up ghosts, but you need to stun them with your flashlight first, then slam them around to drain their HP. The big addition is Gooigi, a gooey clone of Luigi that can squeeze through bars and walk on spikes, and you can switch between Luigi and Gooigi instantly to solve puzzles that need both characters. The environmental interaction is insane. You can vacuum up pretty much everything to find coins and secrets hidden everywhere. Combat gets more complex as you learn moves like the burst that pushes ghosts away and the suction shot that lets you grab and slam objects. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition brings back the most ambitious Xenoblade game with improved visuals and all the original DLC. The story starts with Earth being destroyed in a crossfire between alien races, and the survivors crash land on planet Mira in a city called New Los Angeles. You create your own character and join an organization called Blad that explores Mira, searches for missing life pods, and defends the city from hostile creatures and aliens. The combat is real-time with auto attacks and special arts you activate manually, building up a meter that lets you chain attacks together for massive damage. The game's biggest feature is the Skells, giant mechs you can pilot that transform how you explore and fight once you unlock them about 30 hours in. Mira is absolutely massive, with 5 huge continents to explore, each with its own ecosystem, weather patterns, and incredible views. You can play solo or team up with AI companions, each with their own skill trees and equipment to manage.
Open fire! Follow me!
Target in sight! Shadow strike!
Assault hammer!
Nice! Move in and do some damage!
Flame grenade! Almost there! With strength!
Super Mario Bros. Wonder completely reinvents 2D Mario with wild creativity and surprises in every level. The story takes Mario and friends to the Flower Kingdom, where Bowser merges with a castle using a Wonder Flower, so you need to collect Wonder Seeds to save the kingdom. The Wonder Flowers are the game's main hook. When you grab one, the level transforms in crazy, unpredictable ways. Pipes might start walking around, Mario could turn into a ball or merge with enemies, the whole level might flip perspectives, or the visuals could completely change style. Every Wonder transformation is unique, and you genuinely never know what's going to happen next. There are new power-ups like the elephant form that lets you spray water and smash through blocks, and the drill power-up for digging through floors and ceilings. The badge system adds another layer where you equip special abilities like wall jumping, floating, or even starting levels with a power-up already active. Lunar Remastered Collection brings back 2 classic JRPGs, Lunar Silver Star Story and Lunar Eternal Blue, fully remastered for modern systems. The first game follows Alex, a young boy who idolizes Dragon Master Dyne and dreams of becoming a hero himself. When he discovers he can communicate with a white dragon, he sets out on an adventure that leads him to gather the 4 dragons and face the Magic Emperor threatening the world. The second game takes place 1,000 years later with a new hero named Hero who meets Lucia, a mysterious girl from the Blue Star who's come to Lunar to stop Zophar, an ancient evil. The combat is turn-based but with a twist. Character positioning matters because you need to be in range to attack enemies, and enemies can move around too. Characters learn magic spells and special moves as they level up, and you can find equipment and items in towns and dungeons. Both games are known for their character-driven stories with great dialogue and voice acting, with fully animated cutscenes that were revolutionary back in the day and still look good remastered. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild starts with Link waking up after a 100-year sleep to find Hyrule in ruins and Calamity Ganon sealed inside Hyrule Castle. Princess Zelda has been holding Ganon back all this time, and it's up to you to regain your strength and save the kingdom. The game gives you complete freedom to explore the massive open world however you want. You can climb almost any surface as long as you have stamina, glide with your paraglider, and even head straight to fight Ganon if you're brave enough. The combat uses a weapon durability system where swords, spears, and bows break after extended use, forcing you to constantly adapt and try new weapons. You'll solve physics-based puzzles in over 100 shrines scattered across the world, each giving you spirit orbs to upgrade your health or stamina. The game has a chemistry engine where elements interact realistically. Fire spreads through grass, metal conducts electricity during storms, and you can use these systems creatively in combat and exploration. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze has the Kong family's island home invaded by the Snowmads, a group of Arctic animals who freeze the entire island and kick DK and his friends out. You need to travel through 6 different islands to eventually make it back home and reclaim your island. The platforming is incredibly precise and challenging. You run, jump, roll, and pound the ground to defeat enemies and find secrets. Each world has a unique theme, like jungles, savannas, and underwater areas, with creative level design that constantly introduces new mechanics and obstacles. You can play as Donkey Kong or team up with a partner riding on your back. Diddy Kong gives you a jetpack hover, Dixie Kong lets you helicopter spin to slow your fall, Cranky Kong has a pogo cane for bouncing on spikes, and Funky Kong in the Switch version makes the game easier for newcomers. Every level is packed with hidden puzzle pieces and KONG letters that unlock bonus content, rewarding exploration and skilled play. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door follows Mario to the town of Rogueport after receiving a treasure map from Princess Peach. Peach has gone missing, and the map leads to 7 crystal stars hidden across the world that unlock the legendary treasure behind the Thousand-Year Door. The catch is that an evil organization called the X-Nauts is also after the crystal stars for sinister purposes. The game is a turn-based RPG where you use action commands, timed button presses, to deal extra damage on attacks or reduce incoming damage when defending. Mario learns new abilities by finding special partners like Goombella, who gives hints, Koops, who can retrieve distant items, and Vivian, who lets you hide in shadows. The badge system lets you equip abilities that change your stats, add new moves, or provide passive bonuses, and you need to manage your limited badge points carefully. Exploration involves using your partner abilities to solve environmental puzzles and access new areas. Tunic starts with a small fox waking up on a mysterious beach with no explanation of who you are or what you're doing. The game deliberately keeps you in the dark. You'll find an instruction manual pages scattered throughout the world, but they're written in a language you can't read at first, with only diagrams and your own experimentation to guide you. The combat is similar to classic Zelda games, but with tougher, more deliberate Dark Souls-style fighting where you need to manage your stamina for attacks, dodges, and blocks. You explore an interconnected world that loops back on itself as you find shortcuts and new paths, discovering weapons, items, and magical abilities that open up previously inaccessible areas. The game is full of secrets, hidden paths, cryptic puzzles, and mysteries that require you to pay attention to environmental details and experiment with your abilities. Combat can be challenging, and you need to learn enemy attack patterns while managing your limited healing items. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes place in a world where 2 nations, Kevez and Agnes, are locked in an endless war. Soldiers from both sides only live for 10 years, and they fight to collect energy from fallen enemies to send back to their queens. You control 6 main characters, 3 from each nation, who end up working together after discovering they're being manipulated, and the truth about their world is far darker than they realized. The combat happens in real time, where your character auto-attacks while you trigger arts, special abilities with cooldowns, and build up a talent gauge for powerful talent arts. The game introduces the Ouroboros system, where pairs of characters can fuse together temporarily into powerful combined forms with their own movesets. You can switch between controlling any of the 6 party members, and each character can learn different classes that change their role in battle between attacker, defender, and healer. Dragon Quest XI's follows a young man who discovers on his coming-of-age day that he's the reincarnation of an ancient hero called the Luminary. However, the king declares him a servant of darkness and forces him to flee his homeland. You gather a party of allies while searching for the truth about your destiny and working to stop the return of an ancient evil. The combat is traditional turn-based, where you select commands for each character: attack, use spells, use items, or defend. Each character has their own skill trees, where you allocate points to unlock new abilities, stat boosts, and passive skills. You can forge equipment at campsites to create stronger weapons and armor using recipes and materials found throughout the world. The game has a charming art style designed by Akira Toriyama of Dragon Ball fame, and the world is colorful and inviting to explore. There are tons of side activities like casinos, racing, and hidden collectibles scattered everywhere.
Fight and fight some more!
Fantasy Life I: The Girl Who Steals Time is the sequel to the 3DS cult classic, where you explore the world of Viral as a customizable character who can switch between different life classes. The story follows a mysterious girl who has the power to manipulate time, and you'll uncover the secrets behind her abilities while dealing with temporal anomalies affecting the world. You can choose from combat lives like Paladin, Wizard, and Hunter, or crafting lives like Blacksmith, Tailor, and Cook, and you're free to switch between them anytime. Combat lives let you fight monsters in real-time action combat, while crafting lives involve minigames where you gather materials and create items. The game encourages you to try multiple lives because they all support each other. Crafters need materials from combat classes, and fighters need equipment from crafters. The world is full of NPCs with their own stories and requests that unlock as you progress through different life ranks. Ender Magnolia: Bloom in the Mist is a Metroidvania set in a dark fantasy world where an apocalyptic event called the Fumes has turned most of humanity into mindless homunculi. You play as Lilac, an artificer who wakes up in this ruined world with the ability to purify corrupted souls. The core gameplay has you exploring interconnected areas, fighting enemies with fast-paced combat that emphasizes dodging and timing your attacks. As you defeat major bosses, you can summon their spirits as companions who fight alongside you. Each spirit has unique attack patterns and abilities you can switch between during combat. The game has you backtracking to previous areas once you gain new abilities that let you access paths that were blocked before, like double jumps, dashes, or environmental interactions. Combat is challenging but fair, requiring you to learn enemy patterns and manage your resources carefully. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom picks up after Breath of the Wild, with Link and Zelda investigating ruins beneath Hyrule Castle. They accidentally awaken an ancient evil that causes Hyrule Castle to rise into the sky and corrupts Link's arm. Zelda vanishes, and Link has to search for her across a massively expanded Hyrule that now includes floating sky islands above and a huge underground area called the Depths below. The game introduces new abilities that completely change how you interact with the world. Ultra Hand lets you grab and attach objects to create vehicles and contraptions. Fuse lets you combine weapons and materials to create unique equipment. Ascend lets you phase through ceilings to reach higher areas. And Recall reverses time for objects. These abilities open up incredible creative freedom for solving puzzles and approaching combat encounters. You can build crazy machines like cars, boats, and flying contraptions using parts scattered throughout the world. Factory Guardians of Azuma takes the farming sim and RPG hybrid series to a Japanese-inspired setting in the eastern land of Azuma. You play as an earthmate with the power to grow crops and fight monsters, arriving in a small village that's threatened by mysterious forces. The game blends daily life activities like farming, fishing, cooking, and crafting with dungeon crawling and real-time action combat. You grow crops on your farm and in special fields inside dungeons, and your harvest improves your stats and can be used in cooking recipes that give buffs for exploration. Combat has you swinging swords, casting magic, or using other weapons against monsters in dungeons, and you can tame certain monsters to work on your farm or fight alongside you. The game has a full relationship system where you befriend villagers by talking to them, giving gifts, and completing requests. Eventually, you can romance and marry eligible characters. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles brings together two legendary tactical RPGs set in the medieval fantasy world of Ivalice. The main game follows Ramza Biulv, a young noble who gets caught up in a war between kingdoms while uncovering a conspiracy involving the church and ancient supernatural forces. The combat is grid-based tactical battles where positioning, height advantages, and character-facing direction all matter. You build your party by recruiting generic units and unique story characters, then customize them through a deep job system. Characters can switch between jobs like Knight, Black Mage, Monk, and Thief, learning abilities from each that can be mixed and matched once mastered. Battles require careful planning because permadeath is a real threat if you don't revive fallen allies quickly enough. You manage equipment, abilities, and party composition between fights while the story progresses through beautifully written dialogue that deals with themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the corruption of power.
Leave that to me.
An ambush. This day.
Astral Chain is set in a futuristic city called the Ark, humanity's last refuge against interdimensional invaders called chimeras. You play as a rookie officer in Neuron, a special police task force who gains the ability to control a legion, a captured chimera bound to your service. The combat system is completely unique because you control both your character and your legion simultaneously, with the chain connecting you becoming a weapon itself. You can wrap the chain around enemies to bind them, position your legion to create combo opportunities, or use it as a shield. There are 5 different legion types you unlock throughout the game: sword, arrow, arm, beast, and axe, each with distinct combat styles and abilities for solving puzzles. Between action-packed battles, you investigate crime scenes using legion abilities to find clues, question witnesses, and piece together what happened. The game mixes Devil May Cry style action with detective gameplay and light platforming sections. Super Mario Odyssey has Bowser kidnapping Princess Peach for a forced wedding, but this time he destroys Mario's hat in the process. Mario teams up with Cappy, a sentient ghost hat whose sister was also kidnapped to be Peach's wedding tiara. Together they travel across various kingdoms in the Odyssey airship, trying to stop the wedding before it happens. The game's main mechanic is the capture ability. Throwing Cappy lets Mario possess enemies and objects, gaining their unique abilities. You can become a T-Rex to smash through obstacles, a bullet bill to fly through the air, or even a tank to blast through walls. Each kingdom is a large sandbox area filled with power moons to collect. There are over 800 total moons hidden throughout the game. Some moons are obvious rewards for main objectives, while others require puzzle solving, platforming challenges, or just exploring every corner of the world. Mario's movement is incredibly fluid, with tons of advanced techniques like dive jumps and hat bounces that let skilled players navigate levels in creative ways. Persona 5 Royale puts you in the role of a high school student who gains the ability to enter the metaverse, a cognitive world where people's distorted desires manifest as palaces. Along with your friends who become the Phantom Thieves, you infiltrate these palaces to steal the corrupted hearts of adults who abuse their power, teachers, gang leaders, corrupt politicians, and worse. The game splits time between dungeon crawling and daily life simulation where every day matters. During the day you attend school, build relationships with friends and confidants, study to improve your stats, work part-time jobs, or explore Tokyo. These social activities directly impact your combat abilities because strengthening bonds with confidants unlocks new skills and perks. Combat is turn-based, where exploiting enemy weaknesses gives you extra turns, encouraging strategic thinking about which personas to use. Personas are creatures you summon in battle, and the main character can collect and fuse multiple personas, while your party members each have their own unique persona.
Something isn't working! Crow's got some moves! Enemy is tough!
Hades 2 puts you in control of Melinoe, the princess of the underworld and sister to Zagreus from the first game. This time, you're fighting your way up from the underworld toward Mount Olympus to defeat Kronos, the titan of time who has taken over and imprisoned Hades. The game keeps the roguelite structure where each run has you battling through procedurally arranged rooms, collecting boons from the Olympian gods that modify your abilities in powerful ways. Combat is faster and more magic-focused than the first game, with Melinoe using witchcraft and summoning abilities alongside traditional weapons. You have multiple weapon types to unlock, each with different movesets and playstyles. Death sends you back to your hub area where you can upgrade permanent abilities, advance relationships with characters, and unlock new content. The boon system creates incredible build variety. Zeus adds lightning damage, Aphrodite provides charm effects, Apollo grants precision bonuses, and these stack and interact in complex ways. Between runs, you gather resources to improve your base, unlock new NPCs, and progress character storylines that slowly reveal the larger narrative.
It's now or never.
We witches oft are underestimated, but I am well aware how capable you are.
I have to be more than that. This family, they
And there's our top 25 best single-player games on Nintendo Switch for 2025. Whether you want tactical strategy, intense action, creative platforming, or deep RPG experiences, these games deliver some of the best solo adventures on the system. What's your number one pick? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to Switch Top for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.